Morning guys, up on the rooftop having my morning coffee. A little bit of a mist out there, sun's looking nice and bright. Fishing boat over there, it's a little bit foggy just over there. Not long till Christmas. um, yeah, just thought I'd do a little bit of an update since being back. Been busy decorating the apartment downstairs, the one getting it ready for rent. We've had a look at a couple of apartments yesterday as well, around buying some nice locations for some new builds, actually in La Mata. I'm sure they knocked that block down and rebuilt it. There might be some old videos where there's one of these cranes just over there in between two blocks. So I think it's those because they're all newly built, good price on them. So we'll keep that in mind. There's about 5 apartments there for sale. I think originally there was 10, but 5 of them are already gone. But if you are looking at La Mata, I do recommend having a look there. Best person to speak to is Igor because he knows the developer. So you do actually save on what you'd normally pay by going via an agent. Because obviously there's no agency fees on it. What else have we done? We've already had one party, and we've got another party that was due, but it's been rescheduled till after Christmas, and I've got to sort another one out for Igor and Natalia as well to come round. We'll have some another little Christmas dinner. Peculiar year, I've got to admit. I did time it quite well getting out here with obviously what's going on with the whole new strain of COVID situation of the UK. The mind boggles what's going on there, really does. The same as this, what is heading to be a no-deal Brexit, which, to be fair, I wasn't expecting anything else out of Boris. I was expecting it to be a complete failure anyway. In the sense of I didn't expect him to actually do any work. So when it does crash out, don't be surprised, because I think that's exactly where it was always heading, because it was all a no-deal Brexit viewpoint from Boris, and that's what we're going to get. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of it, because it does mean there's going to be a lot of grey areas until they actually pull their finger out. I think the immigration stuff they'll sort out quite quick for moving backwards and forwards to places like Spain, because Spain actually wants to trade. But what I do find peculiar, and I have to say a term I don't normally use very often because it's not fair on the viewpoints when people use the term Brexiteer, but some of the ones that tout the Brexiteer channels and whatever, is one minute they're talking about closing borders, we want sovereignty, own our own borders, blah blah blah. Then the following, literally within a couple of days, they'll complain about France closing its own borders as if they're being punished from Europe. It's the UK that told the world that it's got a bloody new COVID strain. It wasn't just Europe, was it? America closed its borders, India even. It's just hypocrisy. It's just absolutely, people are going mad. All you have to recognise is the UK started it by saying they found some new strain, but the week before they found the new strain, I remember there was a doctor in Edinburgh at one of the disease laboratories or hospitals or whatever, actually said, well, it's fairly normal to have new strains come out, and then suddenly it's all the panic stations. I just find that absolute madness, because they go, oh, you could catch it 70% faster. So what? We don't even know how many people have had the COVID yet, because it's going to be way higher than we've been told, I tell you, in my personal opinion, due to the poor tracking. So I think a lot more people have already had it than we're being told, which is why everything just seems a complete farce. It really does. But anyway, that's enough of that. We're on about Christmas. So I've got to admit, I'm trying not to put my elbow down because it's a bit wet with the morning dew. A lot of Christmas lights out and about, and if we do find some that are a bit interesting, we will post them. We have been over to Lazinia, Orihuela, Guajales, Benejopar. I think may do Guatemala today. Well, tonight when the lights are on. No point doing it during the day. And the thing around the immigration paperwork as well, I've had a few people ask me about residencies. If you go into the Alicante office, it's nowhere near as painful as doing it in the Torrevieja office. You'll find it quite an easy process to go through. You may not get it through the first time. Don't worry about it. It's normal. One thing I will say is the fact that people go, you're missing the form, come back. It is much easier than booking an appointment, paying a fee, and doing all the other bits and pieces that I believe occurs when you're trying to get into the UK. 'Cause I think a visa application in full costs around £6,000, where in Spain, I think it's about €15. Somewhere between 15 and 20. It's probably gone up over the last couple of years because I haven't had to do any. April has, but I haven't. But the point is, it's quite an easy process. Yes, it is a bit bureaucratic, but it's nowhere near as bad as the UK is. And I know my wife's experience at the French embassy was also not that painful. People I know from the Dutch and many other embassies have not found it as painful as going into the UK. So bear that in mind. You could be worse. You could be trying to get into the UK, which is way more difficult. Although saying that, one of our friends down in Mexico has been dealing with her visa application for months because COVID slowed everything down. But she's finally got it sorted and her motorbike license, so she's happy down there. And good on her. I've got to admit, if you do travel, myself, I like motorbikes, and I do find if you're a bit more remote, it's the best way to travel, best way to enjoy it. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough on that. Because April won't let me get a motorbike in Spain. Got one in the Philippines, well no, not that one in Spain. Yeah. With the parking here, it makes a lot of sense. If you're just nipping into the next town or whatever, just to hop on a scooter or whatever and disappear into the next town. But yeah, it's good to be back. And as you can see, blue skies, sun's up. It's a little bit cool, but at the same time, give the country a break. it's nearly Christmas Day. But I am still wearing shorts, and it's just good to be out. It's more chilled, more relaxed. Obviously, I think I'm going to get the little putt-putt motorbike going past in a minute. I can hear him starting his engine and warming it up at the minute. But one thing I will say is don't worry about Brexit. It'll die down. There'll be a lot of frustrated people. Thanks to social media, we get to hear everybody's view on it. But one of the things I do advise, and I've done for ages, is switch off from the news and stuff. Try and keep your life positive. If you can't control it, don't worry about it. Otherwise, you're just worrying about something that you've got no control over and you can't make a difference on. But I do recommend other people do run for government. But with its current two-party system, it's near impossible to make any realistic changes for the better. It just goes back and forwards like yin and yang, and pretty much goes up the middle, because whatever gets done, undone, it just does that. It just goes up the middle. What else have we been up to? Shops are open, bars are open, restaurants are open, hotels are closed. Not sure about Airbnb. So somebody was asking about popping over to a hotel. Hotels, they're all closed everywhere, as far as I'm aware, at least in this province, because a lot of the regulations and stuff here can have a different impact locally compared to nationally. So it is worth checking. A bit like Tier 4 being invented in the UK out of thin air from a 3-tier system. Yeah, things can be completely different locally. so just bear that in mind. But I'm just gonna finish my coffee, enjoy this sunrise, and think about what I'm going to do today. I'm not going to paint. That's one thing for sure. I'm not painting the apartment downstairs today. I'm on a day off. Might take the kids shopping. Decisions. If it was all this easy. Alright, take care.